My entire life changed when I changed my perspective from what I'm about to share in this video. My entire self-growth journey started because I wanted to stop thinking like this, but I never stopped, and it killed me mentally. That feeling just being that life is unfair. It's the obvious truth that has a lot of people hiding from it, running from it, but most importantly, it has a lot of people questioning what any of life even means. Why study for this test if there's a chance that life can just throw a massive curveball at me and make all of it meaningless? Why work hard when there's people that have the talent to do what I can do in 6 hours in 3? Nothing's fair about any of this, so what is the point? What is the point of something that's so obviously unfair that it seems like there's no larger point to any of it? I used to struggle with this a lot, just knowing that the common consensus is that if you work hard for something, eventually you're going to reap what you sow. Pretty much saying that what you work for, you're going to get. But it's not always pleasurable to know that sometimes you'll reap what you sow eventually, or sometimes you'll just reap less than what you sow. It's not fair. Like, come on. There were people born into more wealth than I'll see in my entire life, and I'm just some regular guy. It's completely unfair. But really, I wouldn't have it any other way. Because why would I? When growing as a person and self-improving, perspective is the most important thing that you can change. It's the most influential thing that we can change because that's the way that we think. And a lot of times, people have a depressive mentality. Let me try to put this into perspective for you. The unfortunate reality is that children die every day, wars take place, poverty is at an all-time high among the millions of issues that the world faces. Life is clearly unfair, right? But on the other side of the world, we failed a math test. We got rejected by that one person, or we couldn't find the motivation to cook the abundance of food that we have in the kitchen. Life is clearly unfair, right? Yeah, in our own little world, in the perception of our own situations, life is unfair. But in the grand scheme of things, compared to the genuine tragedies of life, our life is as fair, as privileged, as amazing as it comes. And I don't mean to sound ignorant, as I know nothing about anybody's life watching this video, but come on, I think it's clear that a lot of times we make life seem a lot more unfair than it actually is. And a lot of times we take granted how fair life has actually been for a lot of us. It's been very fair to me, yet I complain about how my laptop buffers when I'm just trying to relax and watch a show. Yes, it's unfair at the time, but the fact that I have the privilege to relax watching a show on my privileged laptop in my privileged household, who am I to complain that life is unfair at all? Life, God has blessed me as fair as it comes. Yet I still complain about the little things that in the grand scheme of the world matter to nobody but myself. It's a very bad habit that a lot of us have, and it's a very understanding problem to have, because the only life that we truly have a full understanding of is our own. So when we go through those hard times, those frustrating times, the times that seem like life is unfair, we maximize that to the fullest potential. That negativity outweighs the good things and the blessings that we have in life. But I feel like the question in itself is unfair. Because how fair can life be? Do we expect things to come easy? Do we expect no triumph, no trials, no tribulations, no success, no failures? Is the meaning of life to struggle and then triumph? Honestly, that's not a satisfying enough answer for me or a lot of other people, especially when we expect none of that success or failure. How fair is fair if everything comes easy to everybody? And in so many cases, that's what we expect. Everything will come easy. Now that's not fair at all, is it? With the amount of privilege that we have to be on the phone or on the internet just watching this video, how much more fair could this be in comparison to those that can't do that? To have the intelligence to completely disagree with what I'm saying, how much more fair could that be in comparison to those who can't? If the meaning of life was to truly succeed and then fail and then do it all over again, then what's left for those who failed and then never got a chance to succeed again? It doesn't really seem fair, does it? Now this was just to put in perspective that in a lot of cases, we may think that life is truly unfair to us, but sometimes life is just genuinely unfair. Like I said, unfortunately, things are just uncontrollable. People die all the time. People go through unfortunate, uncontrollable situations all the time. And because of that, yes, life is unfair. And what is the reason for all of that? Really, there is none. At least none that I know of. Even in a religious aspect, one of the most controversial ideas or questions that you can ask is, why is life so unfair? Why do children get cancer? Why do people go homeless? And what is it about life that is so unexplainable and random? What could possibly be the meaning of a life that is so unexplainable, so random, so cruel, and so unbalanced? Maybe the meaning of life is to find a new perspective on whatever situations we have, to change perspectives from focusing on that unfair, depressive mentality to focusing on the true blessings that we have in life. All the Everything that we're blessed with, from the opportunities we've gotten to the love that we felt, life could never truly be unfair if we all have the opportunity to feel love. Who cares about the money, the fame, the success? If you have all of that without feeling the love from others, and what is so successful about that? And that's why at the beginning of this video I said I wouldn't really have it any other way, because if I was born into one of those wealthy families, then it would be that much harder to really appreciate the little things, to be proud of my accomplishments, to make money, to do things like that. And sometimes I feel like the meaning of life is to just give to others and feel the love of loving other people. But recently I've been feeling otherwise on that. These explainable events like children dying or wars breaking must mean that there's something more to life, right? If God truly made us, then that must mean that all the random, unfortunate, uncontrollable situations that happen in life must become unimportant, meaningless, and insignificant in comparison to what's beyond life, which just means that our meaning in life must be beyond life itself. I like to think of my life as a warm-up. If you think that none of this matters, to an extent, it really doesn't. There is no real meaning to life. There's no explanation for life's cruelties. However, I do feel like there is a meaning to what's beyond life. And in that, we find that our meaning in life is to just reach what's beyond life. And if you believe that all of that is BS, and you don't believe that there's anything beyond life, then yeah, I guess life is unfair. But with the complexities of all of life, I refuse to think that way. Thank you guys for watching, and thank everybody for the support recently. And if you want to connect with me, I have an Instagram in the description below. And yeah, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.